everybody. Welcome back into Bufnagle Podcast. We're doing a special Thanksgiving episode today. And as always, I'm joined by Rafe. Rafe, how are we doing?
Hey, Zach, I am fantastic. I'm sure our listeners can't tell from listener land, but we are actually in the same room. This is the first time we've actually utilized the North Carolina studios of the Bufnagle recording. So we are here in warm and cheerful Fayetteville, North Carolina, recording this special Thanksgiving Day edition. Before we get started, I want to say a quick thank you to all our listeners for spending a little bit of your Thanksgiving with us today. It's going to be a short show, but we thought it was important to get some little messages out to you guys. As always, you can contact us at bufnagle@bufnagle.com. We are on Twitter. We're on Spotify, helping us out. Are you guys who are following us? We really appreciate that. It helps us know how to serve you guys better. And remember, tell your friends about the podcast. For every friend you send us, you get a free episode. So work on that, get the information out. And just so you know, our crack marketing team is working on merch. So hopefully we'll have that in time for your Christmas shopping. But right now, Zach and I are testing today during the show. We are testing our new Bufnagle tumblers to keep our whistles wet during the show. So we'll let you know how those things go. So Zach, we're in North Carolina for Thanksgiving. What does that say to you?
Well, I get to spend time with family. 2020, I think we all know, has been a year and a half and then some. So we get to spend time with people we enjoy being around, people we care a lot about, and express just the idea and the opportunity to be present, be mindful, and take opportunities that has not been very present in 2020. So it's a good time to reflect, to be thankful for what we have, even if the year as a whole has not been the most kind to all of us.
Yeah, a lot of people have been complaining about 2020 as a year, and I think it can be it could be positive for you. It could be negative to you. A lot of people have lost some loved ones due to this nasty virus. So we hear you out there, and we have known some people that have succumbed, and that has been not a good thing. Life goes on, and we continue to push on. And I have some things around gratitude that I just want to make sure we get out onto the airwaves, because I think it's easy to lose yourself in kind of a negative kind of this thing sucks. And so, Zach, is that a thing that you're thinking these days about gratitude? Are you feeling good about the year? Or?
Well, I mean, the year has been the year, and for a lot of people, it's been difficult in many different ways. But I think, you mentioned the idea of gratitude. Thanksgiving as a time to maybe think about those things that we're thankful for, what we have gratitude for, and then, maybe say that to people that we care deeply about, because 2020 has shown us that, life is short. We're not really sure when we're going to get these opportunities to arise as the world continues to change.
So is there a specific thing along those lines that you're thinking, or would you like me to go first?
I think you should start us off.
Yeah. All right. Well, because we talked a little bit about this at dinner. We got here a couple days ago, and we've been working on our pre-production meetings, and then the pre-production meeting, and the
donut eating meetings.
Yeah, the donut meeting, and then we had a cinnamon roll meeting, and the tumbler meeting. So, but a lot of people may not recognize it, but life used to really suck. All right, things used to be really bad. Rampant disease. There were no antibiotics. People died. Women died all the time in childbirth. Kids didn't grow up to be adults. Infant mortality was high. Housing sucked. People lived in houses with thatched roofs.
We had the Thatchers.
Well, they did have Thatchers, and that's a
story for another time.
For another time. But look at housing. Things could be really bad. They used to live out on the prairie here in the U.S. People lived in these wooden shacks with dirt floors, and the snow would blow through the siding on the houses, and life expectancy was terrible. People didn't have any property rights. Look at all the feudalism that went on in in Europe and all over the world, like warlords and stuff controlling everything you do. People were hungry all the time and died of starvation. There was war everywhere. The history of the world is the history of warfare. And like, even if you wanted to like travel, right, and go somewhere, or the best you could do is get on one of these crappy ships that just got blown around, and hopefully you end up in the right place. Either that, or you get on a wagon tied to an ox or a horse, all right, and then, or you could walk. All right, Marco Polo walked from India, or from Italy over to India and into China, and then he walked back. I mean, these things took forever. Even a guy like Magellan, he went around the world, and the guys like Mercator, who mapped the world, never went more than about 50 miles from where he was born. I mean, these
how can you map the world if you never lived?
Well, see, that's a story for another day as well. But Mercator, he knew people that came back and they brought him information and he mapped the world. But now, all right, look honestly at how we live now. All right, life sucks a lot less now. All right, we got antibiotics. Just think about that. All right, that's less than 100 years ago. We didn't have antibiotics, and people were dying from all sorts of stuff. Look at the last time you had an ear infection. Your ear was you were ready to take a power drill and take the thing out of your head. All right, but now you take a couple antibiotics, and in a day and a half, you're better. All right, housing. We have heating. Right, and efficient heating, and it doesn't kill you.
And AC.
And AC. Don't forget that.
If you're here in North Carolina and you don't have AC, who knows?
We got air conditioning in our cars, Zach. All right, you used to get in a car in the summertime,
and the air conditioning was you rolling down your windows and letting the air blow at you.
Letting the hot air blow through, right? So it wasn't air conditioning; it was more like a convection oven. All right, and we got water. We have clean water. Most of the world has clean water. That's an amazing thing. And the roads we drive on, smooth concrete. We drove from Nashville to North Carolina in about 9 hours. It was incredible. We just drive down the road. It's smooth. There's lanes in each direction. There's safety barricades. There's all sorts of stuff. All right. Look at the medicine that we have now in our, your grandfather, my father, had a heart attack about 1.5 years ago, and he came within inches of dying. Right. But the EMTs got there. They picked him up. They took him to the hospital, and they put a stent in. And about 2 hours later, he was done. It was over. Time to go home. All right. The next day, he was up and at him, walking around, doing all sorts of things.
Advancements in science and medicine allow us to, continually live a better life.
Better lives. All right. 50 years ago or so, my grandma had a precancerous polyp in her colon, and it progressed from precancerous to cancerous, and it killed her. All right. About 3 years ago, I had a colonoscopy, and they found a precancerous polyp in my colon, and they took it out. And now I'm better. All right. I would be on the same path as her, and I wouldn't know it. All right. And we have all that. We have all that stuff taken care of us now. We got food. Go to the grocery store. If you went shopping for Thanksgiving dinner, look at what's at the grocery store. Produce. Look at all the
fresh produce
from the world over. All right. And look at the bread aisle. Look at the beer aisle. All right. I mean, look at seafood, meats from all over, cheese from all. I mean, if you want it, it's there. And if it's not there, you go online and you order it, and it shows up at your house. Some guy brings it to you. All right. You can get food. You can get books, electronics. I mean, you get all sorts of stuff. You can download your favorite movie and watch it in the comfort of your living room for what? $5? All right. We have become really, really spoiled with it.
And lazy. But that's a story for another time.
There is a little bit of lazy in there. But what it really points to is the value of freedom. All right. And I think here in the US, at least, we have remarkable amounts of freedom. And I'm not talking freedom just like license, like the ability to do whatever you want. I'm talking more of an Aristotelian kind of freedom, which is the opportunity to choose to do the good. All right. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but we have that freedom. We may have some political strife. We got parties that are fighting at each other. We got an election that people are fighting over. I got that. But you know what? We're not at war. All right. We don't got people shooting up the streets. All right. Things are going pretty well. It's not perfect. All right. I'm not going to say it's perfect. There's still work to do. Homelessness, a big issue, a really big issue. And that goes
mental health issues.
And a lot of it comes from that. Right. And so and that's both sides of the aisle. We can work on that. All right. There's sex trafficking, which is a really nasty, nasty thing because it's all about power. All right. Corruption. All right. There's always corruption when you have human beings. You got corruption, right? Corruption leads to tyrants. Right. Tyrants are really bad. All right. A lot of people have dipped onto the economic ladder, getting economic escalator. We need to work and figure out how to do that so people can
provide opportunities
to get on the escalator. Okay, and there's some people whose freedoms being opposed. Look at Look at places like North Korea, man. But in the U.S., I'm grateful, all right? And I'm grateful for a number of things. And here they are. It's quite quick because I've mentioned them all. I'm grateful for freedom. I'm grateful for a generally stable political climate. I'm grateful for electricity. I've never met you
because
guys.
we have electricity.
We have electricity and we got a podcast and people figured out how to make all this stuff work, all right? I'm grateful for a loving spouse. I'm grateful for a wonderful family. And more than anything, I'm grateful for God willing to redeem my fallen soul. That's where I am, Zach. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I think those are some very good points we take away from Thanksgiving. I think a lot of things around Thanksgiving has been distorted, especially with 2020 as a whole being difficult and hard and lots of is one thing I want to say about gratitude and thankfulness is people like hanging out with their friends because they're their friends. They get along with them for whatever reason it may be. When you're always hanging out with your friends, something will come up and you'll be teasing someone or joking with them. And if that becomes a consistent theme, that gets old really fast. And sometimes your friends, all they really need to hear from you is, hey, Rafe, I appreciate you doing X, or I appreciate you doing Y. I like having you around because of this reason or that reason. They want to hear that stuff. It doesn't happen a lot. There's not that thankfulness, that appreciation for what people in our lives bring to us, because they're people in our lives for a reason, because they bring something to us. So be thankful and thank them for those things that they bring into your life, the good, even some of the bad, and that they hopefully make a positive impact on your life moving forward. And that's why you keep them around. So instead of teasing your friend the next time you do a game night or something like that, be like, hey, Brian, I appreciate you always being a positive guy to hang around. So that's what I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that enough. There's a lot of people whose relationships, guys tend to hide their emotions behind that teasing and the razzing. And I understand that. But I tell you, it is a much freer world for you when you can just say, hey, Zach, I really appreciate you doing all the work to keep this podcast running.
Yeah.
And for doing all the great things you do. And you and your brother and your sister and your mom. It has been, my life's wonderful because of those people doing great things for me.
Yeah. And just recently on Monday, a friend of mine, she was cleaning something up and I was about to leave. And she went out of her way to thank me for all the work I've done and helping her out with other little things for the past 6 to 8 weeks. And it felt really good to have someone realize that this was happening and then take time out from what they were doing. And they were busy. They were working on stuff to thank me for doing what I've been doing. And that goes a long way. I can talk a lot about loyalty and what that means. And that's how you build loyalty because it's not something that simply happens. But on that note, I think I got all I got to say about gratitude, thankfulness, and just being positive and around people.
Yeah. Thank your friends, man. Thank your friends. It's a great world if you make it that. And there's a lot of opportunity there. So once again, thank you for listening, all you bufnagle listeners out there. And you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
That sounds like a great thing to do. Thank you, Rafe. And we'll thank you all for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bufnagle.
No.
No.
We can't even do the outro right.